Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising, welcome to Ethernal Realms. We will see how this Aries eclipse occurring on April 20th going to impact you. It's in a fellow cardinal sign, you are one as well, so this is going to be about taking action towards a certain direction. You're very used to that type of movement, but perhaps it's a little bit difficult because the way that you react versus how Aries reacts is quite different, but because there is still some commonality, we can find some ground here that we can cover productively, efficiently, like the way you would choose. Now, the eclipse is taking place at the 29th degree, which is the very last degree, and right as the eclipse gets over, the moon moves into Taurus and the sun follows suit and we begin Taurus season. So there is a leak over effect from your Aries side of things, which would be in your 4th house if we go by the rising sign, and that quickly moves into your 5th house. So something related to your private self, your early childhood, your family home, or family and ancestry in general. There is a realization or a breakthrough, a culmination of sorts, which allows for a new beginning to take place. And this realization is then immediately taking shape in the way that you express yourself, the people that you date, the way you have fun, what your hobbies are, things like that. Now the sun is going to be squaring Pluto, which would be at 0 degree of Aquarius. 0 degrees, again, a very critical degree, and that indicates that a lot of new breakthroughs can happen. Some major new beginnings can take place. 0 degrees usually very eager, so Pluto over there is like, okay, let's get this done, and then that, and then that, and then that, and so on. But having a human experience, that can feel a little bit overwhelming, especially when Pluto is taking part, and also the aspect is square, which is not really a fun relationship. But regardless, it is also showing potential for some breakthroughs in ongoing difficulties. So any chapters that need to close, and you know they need to close, it's very likely that this eclipse can bring about those necessary changes. Also, one thing to note is eclipses take about 6 months to play out to full effect, but I have seen that they kind of peak around, and for relatively more sensitive people, it can even come to culmination within 3 to 4 months of the eclipse itself. Also, we will have another eclipse coming up next in 2 weeks of this, so yeah, we'll sit tight and see kind of what that brings. I'll make a separate video on that, but let's first see what's going on with this one. All right, so we have the, wow, all right, we have the sacral chakra coming up first, and I love this card, and I don't get it very often, honestly, but I really love the imagery of it. So it relates with our center for creativity and feeling good, where our desires and our wants are sitting, and how we express that. When we honor our feelings, we are working with the sacral chakra. So when we make art, we dance, we connect with someone intimately, things like that, then this chakra is getting activated. So it's likely that you are expressing yourself in your fullest potential around this time, or you at least have the urge to do so. And that urge is sufficient for you to actually find a way to showcase yourself in a different light. It can also indicate that you're forming an intimate bond with someone at this time. You can meet someone new if you don't have one yet, but we'll see the tarot cards as well for some more confirmation on that. But there is potential. Very nice. We have the truth and purpose coming up here, and the eye symbolizes the all-knowing, all-aware entity, or the part of us. So you can be connecting to a very, very deeper part of yourself, and your intuition is opening up really loud and clear. Your purpose might become very clear all of a sudden. There can be a realization, like I was saying earlier, which is breaking you out of limiting patterns and behaviors. It helps you achieve your goals and mission, or at least clears the path to move forward in a more streamlined manner. I'm also hearing you're seeing the truth, you're realizing the truth, and you're incorporating that And I know that's a pretty vague and broad statement. We'll kind of see the tarot and also the astrology cards for more detail, but so far it seems like the truth of you, your personal truth, not really the universal truth of, what connects us and why we are here, not really so philosophical, but kind of where you come from and what you stand for, what you truly believe in, and that itself can feel quite purposeful. So far, that's the feeling I'm getting. Okay, we have the ninth house coming through. This is about philosophies and belief systems. It's about connection to divinity as well. Yeah, with this Sattva card, it can be that you are asking the big questions, but you're looking for a little bit more personal answers. But regardless, there is a connection with source. You could be looking up and kind of asking for guidance on how to find your purpose, for example, or, some other guidance related to your home and family or your personal truth and expression from your spirit guides, your ancestors, things like that. So there is a connection with divinity here. Absolutely. This also indicates your higher self and your higher nature in general. So this one is more about unconditional love. There is also possibility of traveling abroad or connecting with people who come from different backgrounds, and this has a spiritual nature to it as well. Okay, so the connections you make from this point on, there is a type for at least the coming 3-4 months. There is a spiritual connection here, and there might be a contract as well that needs to be worked through. For example, someone could come in and they really spark you up, and you might not even understand why, or you might doubt it because your reaction is too quick than you are used to as a Capricorn. So you might question it, but the feeling does not go away, and that is again an indication for you to listen to your truth in that moment instead of denying it because you're not used to it. Okay, then we have the fifth house. We talked about this at a great deal. There is a rise in creativity as well, not only in the way that you showcase yourself, but just interests and hobbies and so on. There might be some different forms of entertainment that you find are more suitable for you, which bring you some more fulfillment and a lot more joy in your life. Same goes with connections. I feel you're thinking about the purpose of each person in your life, especially if you have a lot of people around you. This can be you being a little bit more discerning with your time and your resource with those certain people. You're making a little bit more time for yourself over here. Then we have Leo. You're speaking of yourself, right? Leo sits in the fifth house usually, and it is also about creativity, self-expression, and listening to your own self, developing your individuality, discovering you, having fun, and being positive, motivating, things like that. So there is a really big surge of creativity absolutely coming through for you. Also, Leo is a card of leadership and entrepreneurship. So if you have any of that going on, you could be making it official, and that's something you enjoy and you have fun with. So you're creating more and more. You're very confident about what you're making, and you are kind of aligning yourself again with the truth. Like, is this good for you? Does it make sense for you? It's not really about what does the market need or what do other people require from me, but more like this is what I feel is right for me to make at this time. This is what I'm motivated towards. So you're responding to that inspiration that comes to you very confidently. I don't see you doubting it so far. So yeah, so far so good. We have Jupiter coming through last with luck, growth, expansion, optimism, and understanding. Also, it signifies protection and is a strong teacher. It's the teacher of the planets. And it rules Sagittarius, and Sagittarius normally sits in the ninth house. So these topics are governed by Jupiter, basically. That's a nice crossover we're seeing here. Yes, there can be new connections, new contacts you're building, or new opportunities can come in, which you're really happy about, that really gets you inspired and excited for what is to come. There is a lot of scope to learn and grow. I think that's exciting for you. You're a Saturn ruled sign, so anywhere there is promise and prospects and just growth and so on, you're just really happy with that, and you're not really shy to put in the effort. That's not really a concern, right? You're naturally dedicated and disciplined whenever a cause is right, especially Perhaps not so much when you have to drag your feet towards something that you don't enjoy, but this here talks about putting in the effort where you do have fun. There is luck and protection. There is like a spiritual nature to this thing over here. Eclipses in general are quite faithful, so I'm not really surprised, but not every zodiac got a spiritual intervention type of card. It felt a little bit more mundane, and while you still have your everyday life you are taken care of, it's a little bit more expansive than that. Just a side note. Okay, so let's see your tarot cards get more specifics. Wow, all right, we have the Mars and Pisces with 10 of Cups, and you are super happy with this situation. This eclipse looks quite positive for you, honestly. There's no other way to put it. You are spiritually inclined, you're very motivated, but you're kind of intuitively and emotionally motivated. So if it does not bring you bliss and fulfillment, then you're not really spending too much attention and focus onto it, which can be a little bit difficult if you're trying to do something that's really mundane and you just have to get it done, for example documents or things like that that you don't enjoy. But if you are making some time for yourself, then this is a very wonderful card to get here. This can also indicate a happy family or a blissful life in general. So if there have been any family or home related challenges, this can talk about you recovering from those things or finding fulfillment and joy in those sectors. Then we have the Six of Swords, Mercury in Aquarius with earned success. That I really love that keyword for you because you're all about that. That's what you inspire other zodiacs to do. So the Mercury here can indicate that you have a lot of ideas, and it's not just about getting the ideas, but also processing and developing them. There is an action plan that you can work through. So you have a very measured way of going about this surge of inspiration and creativity that is coming for you here. You're taking a lot of forward movement. There can be some actual travel as well. Ninth house talks about long distance travel, so it can talk about literal like that, or it can talk about your business traveling far and wide, people getting to know you from different places, things like that if you have a business going on. And if not, this can be in a career sense that your words are being very important, you're being heard, your advice is heard, or even needed and required by the masses. Just the things that you have to say or the way that you think and process things can be quite desirable or desired by others at this time. You might be looking for intelligent connections and communication, so that can be in a professional sense, or you just want to have more intellectual conversations with your friends and that's something you're enjoying. You can also take up reading or writing, something mercurial, speaking, listening, reading, writing. These are usually what Mercury symbolizes. Also thinking. But there is either way a transition from something that was relatively tough into something that's a lot more lighthearted. Then we have the Seven of Wands with Mars and Leo. Yes, again, this feels very strong to me, that you are a strong leader, you have a lot of creative spark, spirit, talent. So anything that you set your mind to, you achieve, right? Once again, that's something Capricorn stands for. So Mars and Leo here is giving you that boost of energy and also creativity, and it's giving you the motivation to get up and do it right away and do something for the long haul. So it's not something that you do right now and then you drop it in like 5 seconds and then you move on to the next thing, right? There is a level of commitment here, but you're very excited to put in that effort. You are being noticed for your courage. Also, again, other people might be coming to you for your leadership and guidance over here because you have something very useful to provide. Your perspective is quite different, or your words are very motivating. You kind of fire people up whenever it's needed. Yeah, so they're approaching you with their issues. Oh yes, I was trying to think, there was something else I was getting. So yes, with the Seven of Wands, your gut instinct is as well quite strong. With the sacral chakra as well, it can be that you're able to take action on things that you desire. Because this chakra itself does not necessarily mean that you will. It just means that you want to, you would like to, things like that. But Seven of Wands is further emphasizing that you're also taking action, you're doing something about this. Okay, then we have the Six of Wands with victory, Jupiter and Leo. There's just so much Leo, Mars, things going on here, so interesting. So Six of Wands indicates that you have heightened respect, victory, so you're successful at something here, or you feel successful. Jupiter and Leo can indicate that, again, people are looking up to you, your guidance is needed and heard. So if you have certain services you're offering individually or within a parent company or something of that sort, then it's going quite well. You're making forward moves, you're recognizing significant growth and changes. This can also be that you're taking up some creative hobbies, or you have, and you are seeing your progress at this time, and that itself is motivating you a lot. There's also the social media influencer card, by the way. So if you're on social media, then, and you're quite active in there, you're providing something, then this can indicate that, you're being seen a lot more. You're being celebrated for something here too. So something you do, some achievement of yours is kind of worth celebrating. People see you as kind of higher than them. So there is perhaps a rise in leadership. And you feel like that's your element, or it's something that you want, and that's something you're getting here, right? It's very celebratory and desirable here. We have 2 sixes as well, which talks about harmony and flow. There's a lot of bliss going on. So that's awesome. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, perfect way to finish and begin the reading here. The Wheel of Fortune is about luck and fortune. It is Jupiter ruled, and yes, it provides a lot of new open doors and opportunities for you to take advantage of. You can move in a specific direction. There is like a process of evolution is what I'm getting with the wheel there. So whatever it is you get, it might be a relatively new thing, but you still have a lot of skills, and you kind of have that carryover effect. So you can deal with whatever comes. It's not really an issue. You're moving up in life. And things that were difficult, like I said, with the Six of Swords being reiterated here, that it is going to go through an upgrade. Yeah, upgrade is something I hear. Lifestyle upgrade, just self-care. You're taking more self-care, and you're upgrading your living space, your lifestyle, your routines. And I'm not so much getting exercise type of, lifestyle. It's more like moisturizing, sleeping well, having fun, spending time with loved ones, and just enjoying the moment, things like that. You're incorporating more of that in your life. So yeah, it's very nice. That's so wonderful. Okay, good. So let's see your astro guys for Capricorns, please. How is the Aries eclipse impacting them? We have the 6th house, Cancer, and North Node. So Cancer is right opposite your sign. So absolutely, there can be some new work partnerships, some new relations that you form while you're going about this day-to-day routine or lifestyle changes. It can also be that you're meeting some people who can work for you, and that's lightening up your load. And you are in that empowered position. You're being a leader, and you're also delegating tasks and things like that. And that might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, because you're a hard worker, you're dedicated, you like things done in a timely manner, but it looks like you're working on trusting other people and letting things go. This also indicates that you're following your heart, and you're taking care of yourself. The whole self-care regimen that I was talking about earlier is coming through here. So you're doing what makes your heart happy. You're not necessarily forcing yourself to be, or like pressuring yourself, I should say. You can still force yourself to do something uncomfortable, and that can be okay, but pressuring yourself can feel a little bit much. So that's not really here. Wherever the North Node is, that's where the soul wants to go. That's why you have some insights and guidance coming through for you from the spiritual realm. Also, it talks about our path of greatest fulfillment and bliss as well. But it is not our comfort zone. That's the thing. Something yeah, you don't immediately enjoy, but you know that it's like good for you. Something of that sort you're adopting in your life, and you're trusting yourself through the process. You're being a little bit patient with yourself as well. And yes, in the meantime, there is also a lot of growth outside of you. There's like one thing is focused on you, and the other thing is outside and different people. So both are kind of happening at the same time here. All right. So yes, that's what I have for you, Capricorns. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.